She met him on a night when the city felt softer than usual, when the lights reflected in the rain like secrets waiting to be confessed. He stood across the street, smiling as if he already knew her story, as if fate had whispered her name to him long before she heard his voice. From the first conversation, he felt familiar, dangerously familiar, like a memory she hadn't lived yet. He listened the way lonely hearts dream of being listened to, with patience, with warmth, with eyes that never hurried her words. And slowly, without resistance, she let him in. Love with him didn't arrive loudly. It settled gently, like a quiet promise. Mornings began to feel meaningful because she knew someone was thinking of her. Nights felt shorter because his messages stayed awake with her. He spoke of a future not as a fantasy, but as a plan, and she believed him because believing felt easier than doubting. She trusted the way his hand found hers, the way his voice softened when he said her name, the way he swore he would never betray her because he knew what betrayal did to the soul. She told him things she had never said out loud, fears she had hidden even from herself, wounds that still burned when touched. He held those confessions carefully, or so she thought, like fragile glass. What she didn't know was that some people don't protect what you give them. They study it. They learn where it breaks. The first crack appeared quietly. A cancelled meeting. A delayed reply. A smile that didn't reach his eyes. She felt it before she understood it, that subtle shift when love changes temperature. But he explained everything so well. He always did. He wrapped excuses in tenderness, reassured her with words that sounded right, and she chose to trust again, because love teaches you to forgive before it teaches you to see. The betrayal didn't come as a single blow. It came as a carefully arranged scene. Friends she thought were distant suddenly knew intimate details about her life. Opportunities she had worked for slipped away, given to someone else with reasons that never fully made sense. And then there was a friend, the one who had listened to her cry, who had promised loyalty, standing a little too close to him, laughing a little too freely. Still, she told herself she was imagining things. Love, after all, is blind not because it cannot see, but because it refuses to look. The truth revealed itself on an ordinary afternoon, which made it crueler. She overheard a conversation not meant for her ears. Her name spoken lightly. Her pain turned into a strategy. Her secrets transformed into tools. He had used her trust as a map, leading others exactly where she was most vulnerable. He had positioned events so that when she fell, it would look like her own mistake. The betrayal was not just emotional. It was calculated, intentional, intimate. The realization stole her breath. It wasn't only that he had loved someone else, or that he had lied. It was that he had turned her love into a weapon against her, handing it to others with a smile. In that moment, something inside her shattered, but something else awakened. Grief came first, heavy and suffocating. She mourned not just him, but the version of herself that had believed so purely. She replayed every conversation, every touch, searching for the moment where love became deception. Nights grew long, filled with questions that had no answers and memories that refused to soften. But pain has a strange way of clarifying things. Slowly, she began to see the pattern, the manipulation hidden behind affection, the way he had always needed control more than connection. She stopped asking why and started asking how she had survived. And she had survived. Silence became her refuge. She didn't confront him dramatically. She didn't beg for explanations. She simply stepped back, quietly removing herself from the story he thought he was directing. That unsettled him more than anger ever could. He reached out, confused by her calm, unsettled by her absence. But she no longer spoke the language he understood. Healing didn't make her cold. It made her clear. She rebuilt herself slowly, carefully, learning to trust her intuition again. Love didn't disappear from her heart, it matured. It learned boundaries. It learned discernment. And one day, much later, she realized the betrayal had not destroyed her. It had revealed her strength. He lost someone who loved him sincerely. She lost someone who never truly did. And in that quiet truth, she found peace. Even after the silence settled, even after the tears dried, his shadow still appeared in unexpected places. In songs she once loved. In streets they had walked together. In moments of happiness that arrived too suddenly, carrying guilt with them. Healing was not a straight line, it was a slow unraveling. Some days she felt strong, untouchable. Other days she felt foolish for ever believing that love could be safe. Yet with every passing week, the ache lost its sharpness. The wound stopped bleeding and began to scar. What hurt the most was not missing him. It was missing the illusion. The version of him that never truly existed, the future he painted with such conviction. She grieved the dream more than the man. And when she finally admitted that to herself, something shifted. She stopped romanticizing the pain. She stopped asking the universe to explain itself. Then, unexpectedly, he tried to return. Not with honesty, but with nostalgia. Messages filled with half apologies and selective memories. He spoke of misunderstanding, of timing, of love that was complicated but real. He avoided the word betrayal as if naming it would make it permanent. He said he missed her soul. He said no one had ever known him like she did. And for a brief moment, her heart remembered the warmth before the fire burned. But she was no longer the woman who mistook intensity for truth. She saw the pattern clearly now. The way he circled back only when he felt her absence. The way regret appeared only when control was lost. His words were still beautiful, but they were empty of accountability. And this time, she did not explain her silence. She chose it. Walking away did not feel heroic. It felt quiet. Ordinary. Final. In choosing herself, she discovered a deeper romance. The kind that does not rely on promises whispered in the dark, but on self-respect practiced in the light. She learned that love should not feel like a puzzle you are always trying to solve. It should not require you to shrink, to doubt your instincts, to excuse the inexcusable. Months passed. Life softened again. Laughter returned, not as an act of rebellion, but as a natural response to peace. She met new people, not searching, not guarding, just present. And one day, she noticed something simple and extraordinary. Her heart was open without being exposed. Strong without being closed. The betrayal had taught her what devotion without integrity looks like. And in doing so, it taught her what real love must never be. She no longer feared being betrayed. She trusted herself enough to know she would leave at the first sign of disrespect. And that knowledge became her freedom. Some stories do not end with reunion or revenge. Some end with clarity. And that, she realized, was the most romantic ending of all that I in the end. What remained was not anger, not even sadness, but understanding. She finally understood that betrayal is rarely sudden. It is patient. It waits behind smiles, hides in familiar voices, learns your weaknesses while pretending to protect them. And when it strikes, it does not only break trust, it rewrites you. For a long time, she believed betrayal meant losing someone. But the truth was far more painful and far more important. Betrayal meant losing an illusion. Losing the belief that love alone is enough. Losing the comfort of certainty. Losing the idea that good intentions always live inside beautiful words. She forgave herself slowly. For ignoring the quiet warnings. For explaining away the discomfort. For loving without armor. Forgiveness did not arrive as a single moment of relief, it came in fragments. In mornings where she no longer checked her phone. In evenings where his name no longer tightened her chest. In the first day she spoke about him without trembling. She did not become bitter. She became precise. She learned that intimacy without honesty is manipulation. That romance without responsibility is performance. That people who truly love you do not need to betray others to protect themselves. And most importantly, she learned that love should never cost you your dignity. Sometimes she wondered if he ever understood what he had done. Not the loss of her presence, but the loss of her faith. She doubted it. People who betray rarely sit with the full weight of their actions. They move on quickly, collecting new stories, new faces, new chances to rewrite themselves as victims or misunderstood souls. She no longer needed him to understand. Her closure did not come from an apology. It came from distance. From growth. From the quiet pride of knowing she had walked through fire and did not become cruel on the other side. One evening, standing alone under a fading sky, she realized something that made her smile for the first time without sadness behind it. She would love again. Not desperately. Not blindly. But bravely. With discernment. With boundaries that did not harden her heart, only protected it. She would recognize manipulation disguised as passion. She would hear dishonesty beneath charm. And she would leave, calmly, early, without explaining herself, because she now understood that walking away is not weakness. It is wisdom. The betrayal had not ruined her capacity to love. It had refined it. And somewhere in that realization, she felt free. Not because the past no longer existed, but because it no longer controlled her. Not because the wound disappeared, but because it no longer defined her. She carried the story with her, not as a scar to hide, but as a quiet proof of survival. Some betrayals break people. This one built her. And that was the ending no one had planned, but the one she deserved. And that's it. This is where my story ends. I've finished my story. Thank you for staying with me until the end. Stay with me, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and share your thoughts in the comments. See you next time.